Hi, it's Ryan Jagnowski here with Radial Engineering at the 2018 NAMM show in sunny Anaheim, California. First off, we have some big news to share. Radial Engineering and its subsidiary brands has been acquired by the CEO and owner of Ultimate Stands, Mike Belitz. So we have exciting times ahead. We continue to grow. Mike saw a great opportunity, we're glad to start this here at the beginning of the year and look forward to what's coming up ahead. So let's get into the gear part of things here now. One of our most popular items that never gets advertised is our SW8 auto switcher. If you're not familiar with the SW8, what it does is allows you to take the output of audio interfaces for backing tracks and create redundancy. So typically in a system you would have two Macs that are running Pro Tools or something, going through your D to A's, then out of your D to A's into our SW8 auto switcher. So you have an A rig and a B rig, and then you'll be sending a tone from your A rig that if it disappears, your auto switcher, the SW8, will automatically switch so that the audience is none the wiser that there's a fire happening backstage and the tech is trying to iron everything out. So what we found was that with the more people wanting to get into the backing track ability and stuff like that, smaller groups that don't need a whole lot of backing tracks, we want to make it a little, like, take it one step. So we want to eliminate, we're not going to build a computer, so we wanted to build an audio interface into our SW8 auto switcher. So that's what we have here today. We have the SW8 USB auto switcher. I'm going to turn around on the back first because that's kind of where a lot of the connectivity is. We have our outputs on the front. We can come back around to that. First of all, total redundancy here. We have two PSU inputs. So you'll have two PSU inputs that are active so that if a power goes down on one, it'll switch over to the other one and things will go on. We have our two USB inputs. So what you'll have is you'll have your A rig from your first Mac coming directly with a USB cable in here. No audio interface. The audio interface is in the SW8 USB. And then we have our B rig. So you can either run a tone from a drone track. Once again, 8 analog outputs for your backing tracks, but you can also run a drone. So the drone would be on, there's an SBDIF 1 and 2. You would put that drone in your session, and that's where it would pull the tone from. So if the A-rig tone went down, it's automatically going to switch. You can also use MTC for that as well. So if you want to use MTC instead, there's a switch here. You have MIDI I/O. So if you want to run show control or something to light, so you want to have all your lighting programmed and everything on the computers, you can do all that through the SW8 USB. So one rig goes down, your lighting and audio tracks continue to go. They automatically switch over to the B rig. We have analog outputs on DB25 as well as TRS, and then JR2 remote foot switch. So if you want to go manually, switching manually in between your two rigs, you can do that with the JR2. An alarm out to trigger an alarm so that if the tech is looking somewhere else, they can see something's going on, and then 1/4 inch JR2 input as well. So we go to the front here, the SW8 USB. A lot of the same controls as our original SW8. We have the mute function, so that mutes output so that the tech can monitor all the connections on the back and not to the front of house. So these are going to be either mic level, which is typical because this will get patched into an audio snake, or you can go to line level. So if some times that we get from broadcast TV productions that they need line level output. So we have a switch here that'll give you either mic or line level output. You have your manual control for your input select on the front. You have a standby which holds the machine, the SW8 USB on the A machine, so that it doesn't automatically switch over. And then you have a reset. So if it does switch over to B, you can keep it on engage standby, and then you can do a hard reset so that if there's any hung notes or MIDI or stuff like that, you have that, basically a panic button. Ground lifts on each channel, transformer isolated. The SW8 USB will do a maximum of 8 channels of D to A conversion. So if you need more channels, like many acts still do, then we'll still be pushing forward with our regular SW8 because that can be linked together. We cannot link this. This will be independent. independent 8 channels, but there's a need out there, and we're seeing to fill it. One more product that we showed for the first time last year, but is shipping now, is the Backtrack. Kind of a real basic version, so small acts that are using a couple of iPads or a couple of phones, whatever type of tablet, they want to have a redundancy in case somebody spills a beer on one of them on stage or something like that. We have the little Backtrack. So you can go in 3.5 millimeters, so stereo A, stereo B, 2 different rigs, just a lot smaller, right? You can take the 1/8 inch out of a laptop if you want. We have Q Select, so you can queue up your B rig. If it's a different, different program material, you can queue that. You can monitor that through headphones. You have Input Select and Mute on the front. Once again, the mute only mutes the main outs, not your monitor outputs. JR2 connectivity for remote foot switching. So if the person that's controlling the backing tracks is also a player, they can use a remote foot switch to switch if they need to be. TRS inputs and balanced XLR outputs, and TRS outputs for monitoring. So new auto switchers, new switchers that are brought to you by Radial Engineering at NAMM 2018 in sunny Anaheim, California. Thanks for stopping by.